Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the latest album from Diabulus and Musica, Euphonic Entropy, out February 14th on Napalm Records. This album has 12 tracks, 56 minutes in length, and this is the band's fifth full-length studio album. When I first received the press release, one of the words that jumped at me immediately was the word chaos, chaotic, that this album is chaotic. I wasn't sure exactly what they meant by that, but after listening to the album, I definitely agree that the album has a lot of chaos in it. I don't know if my definition of chaos is the same definition that they have as it portrays to this specific record. But to me, this is an album that has a very interesting dynamic, and this is where the chaos comes in. I really feel like on a song-by-song basis, this album is as strong as any album I've ever heard. Absolutely magnificent elements, magnificent vocals, production, song structure, different styles, different approaches. All of these elements are at play, and in my opinion, all of these elements are some of the most positive elements that you're going to find on this album. To me, the problem becomes on the connection on a track-by-track basis. I don't feel like this album has a red line all the way through. To me, it's not continuous. It doesn't feel continuous. It really feels broken. And it's one of those records that it didn't hold my hand with the first song and kind of guided me through the journey or the experience of listening to the whole album. It really felt disconnected. It really felt broken. And that to me is where the chaos comes in. Because there's so much stuff happening on a song-by-song basis. There's so many moving pieces. There's so many things being thrown at you that while the songs individually are incredible, are magnificent with great dynamics, they just don't feel like they all belong together. They don't feel like they can play with each other. While they can play absolutely amazing on an individual basis, as a collective, as a group, they just don't jive. They just don't seem to be arranged in the right style and the right approach in order for you to have a continuous listening experience. You have a great experience listening to individual songs on an individual basis, but as a record, as the fluidity of the record is concerned, to me this record is just really chaotic. It's just really all over the place, and it didn't allow me to have a continuous flow, not even linear, but a continuous flow of being connected with the first song and then staying connected throughout the whole experience of listening to the album. Having said that, I already mentioned some of the positives, which to me are definitely the production, the orchestration, the vocals, and the sound, and the diversity in the sound. I know this sounds contradictory, because here I am complaining about the diversity of the sound not allowing the songs to be connected. Yeah, that is true, but there is a positive in that, which is you are able to create songs that are very interesting, very creative, that go in a lot of different directions. So it is a positive and it is a negative on this specific record. I really feel like it's one of those that has one foot on one side and the other foot on the other. Looking a little bit at the positives, because I really want to emphasize the positives on this record, because like I said, the work, the craftsmanship that went into creating this album is undeniable. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel the quality, the texture, the volume, the definitions, the soundscapes that the album has are just magnificent. So I really want to emphasize on some of those, and I really want to start off with the vocals. I really like the approach that they took as far as vocals are concerned, with a lot of different styles. You have clean vocals, you have more operatic vocals, you have male harsh vocals, you have choirs. All of these different styles of vocals, in my opinion, give great life to the album and allows them to have that diversity that they showcase on a track-by-track basis. Within individual songs, it gives them that flexibility. They can do almost anything they want to do. They can use choirs in the chorus. They can sprinkle a little bit of choirs as backing vocals. They can use harsh vocals in pre-choruses. They can do almost anything they want to do, because the vocal range on display on this record is absolutely magnificent and allows them to play really well with the overall orchestration that the album has. Because to me, the production and orchestration really go hand in hand on this record, because those two elements are absolutely superb on the album. They really elevate the overall quality that the album has, and definitely overall quality that the individual tracks have. That to me is undeniable. The album really has a theatrical approach to its sound, and to me that's a result of that combination of production and orchestration. How all of that came together, how the symbiosis of all these different moving pieces came together, really created an album that has a very theatrical feel to it and has a very good sound quality to it. One emphasizes the other and one enhances the other. Overall, like I said, this is an album that to me just really has a little bit too much chaos, has a little bit too much of indefinition, and that to me is perhaps the only soft spot on this record. because everything else is absolutely magnificent. Everything else is really well put together. Everything else has an incredible amount of work and craftsmanship to really pull it off at this kind of level, with this kind of sound, with this kind of quality. So to me, just a little bit too much chaos, just a little bit too much of indefinition to really make this one of those outstanding records, but overall still a very strong record. As far as songs are concerned, I want to start off with Race to Equilibrium. Great tempo, great melodies. The song is really defined by the vocal approach, in my opinion. The vocal approach on this song gives you a glimpse of everything you're going to get on this record. You get clean vocals, you get more operatic vocals, you get male harsh vocals, you get choirs. All of these different elements are at play within this song, giving the song a great dynamic forward motion, great fluidity, changing from verses to chorus, going in different directions. I really like that. The male harsh vocals adds great texture to this song, really gives a little bit of heaviness to the song, to a song that in my opinion is so symphonic, is so theatrical in its symphonic backbone. And to me, one of the songs that really showcases what you're going to get overall from the sound on this record. This is to me a microcosms of everything that you will have on display throughout the album. Next, In Quest of Sense, a song that has breaks between the verses and the chorus. There's definitely a break, or at least a noticeable change as you go from the verses to the chorus. It's very noticeable. It's there, its presence, and it creates this up and down feel throughout the song. It just gives you a little bit of a roller coaster vibe. The style of vocals that they used in this specific song works extremely well, because they also changed the style of vocals from the verses to the chorus to emphasize that break even more. So I really like that. It just gives them more sense of a roller coaster ride, of an up and down feel, which on the other hand creates a very forward dynamic motion. It almost feels like it's speeding up the tempo of the song without even doing it. So I really like the construction, the structure of the song, but more important, how they use the vocals in order to break them apart. I really like the choirs on this track. They use the choirs almost as backing vocals, and that to me added so much volume, added so much presence. It just really gave the song a different feel, an overall different sound. The drums on this track are a little bit heavier as well. Something that they threw out almost on every single song. They threw in a little bit of heavy drums here and there in order to give a little bit more thickness, more volume to the sound. Not making the track necessarily heavier, but definitely giving a little bit more definition of the sound surrounding the vocals. It just gave them a little bit something to bounce off of, and in this song the drums did that absolutely. Now, next song, One Step Higher, a track that opens up with great drums and great guitars with a lot of bite. It really felt like a song that was going to be very heavy from the onset, but it's not. It really changes its dynamic, becoming almost a symphonic metal ballad, and that heaviness kind of dissipates throughout the track. You still see the combination of guitars and drums coming together with a little bit of heaviness and peaking in at different points of the track, but it never becomes what it shows you that it could be by opening in such a heavy tone with such a heavy mode. It just becomes something completely different. Having said that, it is a great symphonic metal ballad, and I really like the dynamic that it has, because it has that immense peak at the opening, and then it becomes a lot more mellow. You still get a little bit of peaks, of bursts of intensity coming in and out of the track, but overall super melodic, super well constructed, a song that has a lot of forward momentum, has great dynamic, great sound, and it's really well surrounded by the way the vocals work. They didn't do too much on this song as far as the vocals are concerned, and they didn't need to, because to me this song works because it's simple in its approach. It has, from a sound perspective, a little bit more of an interesting dynamic, has a little bit more of a texture to it, a little bit more layers to it, but from a vocal approach is very straightforward. Perhaps one of the more simple approached vocal songs on this album, where they didn't try to do too much. But for a symphonic metal ballad, you want it to be straightforward, you want it to be simple, you want it to be accessible to the listener, and this song is all of that. Alright guys, this is it. This is Diabulus and Musica, Euphonic Entropy, once again out February 14th on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those as always, and I'll be back with you guys to answer any questions that you may have. Alright, take care guys.